You're listening to the Galley Table Podcast from FlyingIslandPress.com, where we talk about science fiction, fantasy, writing, reading, watching stuff, and an occasional random question just to make it interesting.
And good evening, and welcome to the Galley Table. I am your captain or something in charge, and this is my ship now. And this evening we've got an interesting crew with us tonight. As usual, we have...
And that'll be enough of that.
Oh, you bastard.
We are taking over the ship. We are the pirates. We are going to do a pirate takeover. We've thrown the crew, the captain and the first mate in the brig, and what we have left is the crew you see before you. Tonight we are going to do...
I protest! I protest so bad that somebody's calling the helpline. Someone rescue me!
If you protest too much, the airlock door gets opened. So...
Hey, listen, I got people here, okay? So you shut your face.
That's your problem.
I'm going to drink my wine now. Where's my chocolate?
So tonight what we're going to be doing is our pirate takeover. And when we do a pirate takeover, what I do is I give a story prompt, and everybody gets a chance to basically work on that story prompt. We're going to start with...
You're not even going to introduce people? You're horrible!
No, I'm not. Would you calm down? I haven't gotten there yet.
I'm not going to calm down. I haven't been doing what's wrong with you. You don't expect a prisoner to be calm.
Somebody mute her.
I already muted myself, you dork.
All right. So what we do on a takeover is I give us a story prompt. Everybody has to answer my questions about that story prompt, and we just see what happens. We share stories and we build on each other's stories. And it's really just in general a lot of fun. But it's doing one of my favorite things, and that is working with a story prompt and coming up with something interesting in the end. So on the crew tonight, what's left of the crew? To my left, we start with the official stowaway, Doc Coleman.
Greetings, folks.
And
it's true. It's quick. It's over. Next.
And the interrupted one, Gypsy Princess, who I will take as my gypsy bride, Laura Nicole. And see, I made her laugh.
What is she being your pirate bride?
I was hoping she still had wine in her mouth.
See,
so
I'm engaged already.
I'm married already, so we're good.
And wouldn't your wife tend to protest about that?
He's a pirate. What does he care?
Or could she use the help?
Oh, goodness.
All right, so next to the gypsy pirate, Laura Nicole, we have with us another evil person, Michael Plested.
Not half as evil as you might think. Yarr!
Wait, that's not Zach? No.
Oh. No, the captain abandoned ship this evening, and we aren't sure why. We suspect there may be holes in the bottom of the boat, but we'll worry about that later. And last but certainly not least, we have with us the lovely Starla Hutchton.
Thank you.
No introduction, just that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Some of the best ones are short and to the point.
Excellent.
Pirate.
All right. So, what we're going to be doing this evening, as I said, we're going to be taking a story prompt, and I'm going to give the story prompt for those of you who didn't get it ahead of time and for our listening audience. You're on a colony mission to a new world. You discover a creature from an ancient race on the planet that was supposedly devoid of life. It's among the last of its kind, but there are others there, so it's not the only one. They really don't want you on the planet, but they don't have the numbers to overwhelm you and the rest of the colony to drive you off. But they do have some weapons that would probably do as much damage to them as they would to you. And so they're a little hesitant about using them. So now that everybody's had 30 seconds to think about that story prompt. I'm going to go around the table, and the first thing I'm going to ask you for is a 100 to 500 word summary on what you would do with the story. So I will take volunteers this time. After that, I'm going to keel haul people.
Oh, Laura, this is all your fault.
It is all my fault, and our mandatory volunteer is Doc Coleman.
Doc.
Oh, you're going to throw me under the bus? Oh.
I'm going to start with throwing you under the bus.
Let's see. Let's see. How am I going to treat this? This is basically a detente story. We're, mutually assured destruction. See, I would be tempted to say that this ancient race is not low on numbers because they're old and they've lost the will to continue to reproduce, but that they had some kind of disaster, that one of their own kind unleashed some kind of doomsday weapon, and it ravaged the ecology, and these are the survivors. And even though it nearly wiped their species out, the ones that have survived still have more of these weapons. So it becomes a case of are they going to be antagonistic enough with the colonists that they're going to unleash another one of these things and possibly wipe themselves out as well, or will just the threat of it scare the colonists away?
All right, sounds good. Laura.
So wait, am I adding on top of Doc's story, or am I just creating my own spin-off?
You can do either one. I would prefer that you do your own spin-off to start with, and then we'll kind of join stories as we go along.
Okay. So the colonists are not actually colonists, they're pirates.
I like pirates.
And Mars is their Tortuga. And they think that it's uninhabited and no one's going to steal any of their stuff. But then the locals find their rum. And they discover that rum is pretty good. And it's a battle for the rum.
I like it.
You're welcome.
I like it very, very much.
If you're not going to take this seriously, you're not going to be allowed to play.
I play all the time.
Yes, I know.
Comedy is a perfectly good genre.
Yes. Michael.
All right, so I'm glad you said the word comedy, because my take on the story would be a buddy comedy. And the single alien that they find is Jar Jar Binks, or someone of his ilk. I knew you'd love that.
So it's horror.
No, it's not.
I think I'm crying now.
It's not actually the colonists that the rest of his race want to go away. It's actually Jar Jar himself, for obvious reasons. So Jar Jar, and I'm going to say my other protagonist would probably be some sort of a pirate king or pirate captain. I don't know, Jeff. You would be a perfect addition to that.
Nice, Laura.
So you and Jar Jar are going through the planet, around the planet, singing and dancing as you go, and trying to avoid being murdered by Jar Jar's jello swilling, comrades or former family.
Me shall go with you. My comrades are muy angry.
Oh, you're getting into it. Nice, Doc. Love it. So yeah, buddy comedy.
Jello shot?
Alrighty. Starla.
Well, y'all probably know, but I've been working on a sci-fi romance lately, so I'm going to take it in that direction. And my idea is that this race of people I'm going to play on a very old and overused trope, just because everybody else is whatever. So I'm going to play on the Mars needs women trope here.
Oh,
and
nice.
This race is dying out because there was a plague that took out all of the females. So the glitter vampires. I hate you.
Damn
so
that
much
double
right
X
now.
gene.
And this weapon that they have could potentially be used to hit the other side of the coin. So instead of wiping out the female of the species of the colonists that have landed, they have changed it to target the newcomers and the male portion of the population. But there's the slight chance that this weapon could backfire and wipe out all the remaining men of this particular species, this alien ancient race, instead.
Very nice, very nice.
Does that sound like the Ents to anybody else?
The what?
The Ents.
Oh, the Ents.
Oh,
The
because they
Entwives.
don't know what happened to the Entwives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, so sad. Entwives. All right, so just to be fair, I'm going to go ahead and give you my summary as well.
And we shall ridicule it as well.
Let the heckling begin!
Begin!
So you have these group of colonists, and they are colonists that land on this planet. And they discover the people there, and the leader of the colonists has decided not to report these people back, or report back to Earth or their government that they found anybody. They're going to continue to colonize the planet anyway, which they weren't supposed to do. A la Wrath of Khan. Can we transplant it? And they're planning to actually either eradicate or get rid of these creatures some way. The aliens obviously have figured this out, even though they were trying to originally be welcoming to these people, but they are. As soon as they figure it out, they decide that maybe they should use this weapon to clear the planet off. Obviously, the danger is that they will wipe themselves out in the process. There it is a struggle to who can eradicate the other one first. Obviously, the colonists have force of numbers and are planning to eradicate them, and the aliens have this weapon that could damage everybody or kill everybody. So there we go. Hungry kittens. I like hungry kittens. Speaking of hungry kittens, did anybody listen to
Writing excuses?
Yes, writing excuses.
No.
Oh my goodness. The story prompt this week was
Kitten punk.
kitten punk. Yes.
Oh,
So
Next thing you know, we're gonna have bronies and gears.
yes.
what is the rule if what is it, like rule 42 or something?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
If you can think of it, it exists on the internet.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
think that's 34. Or is it
34.
Yeah. If you can think of it,
Close
it exists
enough.
on the internet, and then if you can think of it and it
there's
exists on the
porn of it.
internet, then there's porn of it. So yeah. And the whoever was doing the talking at the time, and I didn't catch which one, but they said yes, just throw the kittens into the boiler to steam the power of the steam machines.
Yep.
I hear
Because if
they are a good
steampunk is
source of
steam
fuel.
powered, then kitten punk is kitten powered, right?
Exactly.
Well, but don't the kittens make the steam? So it would still be steampunk.
Yes. All right.
They don't
So
call it coal punk.
totally
But there is
derailed.
diesel punk.
It is my fault. All right. So with that in mind, now we all have a short story or a basis for a short story. What I would like you to do is tell me who your protagonist is and your antagonist is for your story. You can pick one of the other people's stories and work with their thing, and we can kind of just build off of it as we've done in the past, or you can stick with your own story. So we'll go opposite order, and I'll go ahead and go first. My protagonist is actually going to be the alien
kitten.
who a sparkly vampire kitten.
Yes.
Oh, God.
You're the worst kind.
Oh, who is Rainbow? No, I'm sorry.
Rainbow Bright? What?
Nyan Nyan vampire cat, alien cat. I don't even know. Whatever.
Yeah. He's going to be the alien.
We've got Brony Kitten Punk now. No.
He is not the leader of the aliens or the leader of the aliens that are left. He's one of the lower ranking ones, and he's actually arguing not to use the weapon, to find some other way to make peace with the humans, because obviously he doesn't want to take the chance to blow themselves up. And the antagonist is going to be the leader of the humans, who just keeps pushing him and keeps pushing him and keeps pushing him to make this decision to actually go with the weapon. So, those are my two. Starla.
Yes. Yeah. So since mine's a romance, clearly it has to be. I have to have two protagonists because I have to have the love interest and then, so I have to have a man and a woman are the protagonists. As a human woman, obviously, since there are no men. There are no women aliens, sorry. And then the love interest is, of course, one of the aliens, and he is a leader. He's one of the leaders, and he wants to find a mutually beneficial solution to this so they don't have to unleash this weapon. Clearly, they want the women. But there are militant factions amongst the alien race that would just like to unleash the weapon and be done with it. So that is going to be the antagonist of the story.
Mike.
Wow. I keep going toward, I want to be the actual virus. I don't want to be, the protagonist is the virus here. The protagonist is everybody else. And in fact, I liked Starla's idea, but I was thinking that the virus is actually a gender-bending virus that only changes females to male. And that somehow...
I keep thinking of frogs now.
Excellent. Well, that's kind of what I had in mind.
Well, I keep thinking of Metamore City.
So the protagonists are everybody else except for one researcher who is trying to change the virus to actually change males to females on a selected basis. Although he's very deluded in his search, and there is a very good chance that how they wipe out everybody, they don't really wipe them out. They just change all the males to female. So the problem becomes completely reversed.
Nice. Very nice. That leaves you, Gypsy Pirate.
So, Starla, is Antigone's Wrath outlet?
No. Probably the summer. No.
Okay. Well, Starla has this great story that might be coming out this summer called Antigone's Wrath. And now that I've said the whole Tortuga bit, I can totally see her crew there. And this may be an internal joke with her and I, but I could totally see Sahi going, no, the rum is needed for this ritual, and this and that, and the other thing. And she's got a master at arms who would be like, and it's really good for practicing drunken master. And so they have to fight to get the rum back because it has these magical properties.
The sacred rum.
And I just like Starla's writing, so shameless plug for Starla.
The built-in fangirl is awesome.
Hey, you got
on
one.
every
That's a good
podcast.
start.
You only get that on the Galley table. Built-in fangirl, not included on any other podcast.
Oh, she knows I'm a big Antigone's Wrath fangirl. She was there at Balticon when I was like, do you need me to read? I think my eyes got really wide too, like an anime character. I'm drunk. Don't mind me.
Oh,
See.
Doc, that leaves you.
Let's see. I actually like the idea of the protagonist being the weapon. And And I think in this case, I want the weapon to it's a sentient weapon, and there's actually more than one of them around, and it's sort of an amorphous blob that happens to have a certain appetite for adventure and destruction.
Does he have an Austrian accent?
No, it doesn't have an Austrian accent, but has a really big blaster gun. And actually, he managed to get off planet first and actually came to the planet with the group of colonists. And now he's got to relate not only to the fact that the people that created him are there, and he thought they were long gone, but now there are others of his kind here, and he thought he was the last one.
Very nice. I like that. All right, so next question. We're going to go completely off the rails. And
that's good because we've been completely on it so far.
Just throw the caution to the wind there. No structure. Anarchy. All right.
That's what a mutiny is all about.
Well, is this your version of a random question? Because it's horrible.
It's not nearly random question time.
Oh, I know. But I'm giving him a hard time. I'm still in the brig.
We haven't gotten to random question time yet.
By the way, you're a good pirate to give the brigster rum to drink while, you know.
Yeah, well.
That was my demand.
That she brought the guests, so. Or at this point, she brought one guest, which I brought one guest. So.
And I got thrown in the brig. What's that for things?
That's because That's because you are the number one, which means you're normally up in the officer corps. Those people get thrown in the brig.
You're a jerk. I don't like doing
I could bring a guest.
He only did it because you're a woman, Laura.
Bad.
Don't let him lie to you.
That's why I need you on the podcast, Starla, because you help me. She power.
All right.
Okay, what's the question?
The next question is...
Next up on our hit parade.
We're going to solve this problem by Deus Ex Machina. How does the problem get solved?
Translate.
God in the machine.
Or you pull it out your rear end.
Yes.
To keep
Let's
it
assume that
PG.
there is a all-powerful being, and he is going, or he or she or it is going to solve this problem. This is not the normal way you would go about telling this story, but let's pretend you have a deadline and you've written the 60,000 words and you're nowhere near the end of the story and your deadline is in 3 minutes, so solve it Deus Ex Machina style. And Mike, you're up first.
Oh, that's easy. The Green Lantern Corps actually has been monitoring the situation, and they see that everything is falling apart, and so they send the Green Lantern for that sector of space, and she comes down. See what I did there? We brought some of that back in. She comes in, and she basically uses her power ring to alter the virus so that it only affects the more feminine of the males and switches them to the female side of the gender, and everything's balanced out, and they'll live happily ever after. The end.
We get our own pantomiming. It's great. Thanks.
Now find out where you rate on the book scale. Right?
Now let's see if you can pantomime while you do your own Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, okay. So, all of a sudden, the gypsy pirate comes down and tells the captain there is a machine that can duplicate all of the rum.
Problem solved.
But you must go on a quest, and the only way to get to the rum duplicating machine is to go with one of the other race. And so they have to find that willing participant, and then they go on an epic journey against all odds. And they find the rum duplicating machine, and they decide they can live on the same world together and no longer have to be nomads. But the outer space is too appealing to the captain, and she must go out into the beyond and see what's out there. But she has the rum to remind her of her Tortuga on Mars.
I'm gonna have so much
There
fun with this in post.
is much stumbling, I'm thinking.
And all that's in a single chapter at the end.
Yeah.
Damn.
That entire story was totally Deus Ex Machina.
Turns out it was a dream. The whole thing.
The whole thing is all a dream. Doc.
The colonist ship's AI, which has been quietly monitoring this whole situation, decides that it is kind of fed up with all this petty posturing. Seeing as it's a spaceship, it has absolutely no desire to sit on this planet and be disassembled. So it makes the ancient ones an offer. Get all the humans out onto the planet, come aboard, and we'll take off and go on adventures of our own.
I like it. I like it. Starla.
We'll form a mercenary troop across the stars.
Dang. I just had one, now I completely forgot.
She's been derailed.
Okay, I'm going to say the virus becomes sentient and it escapes from this containment unit. To pick and choose and takes out the members that are too aggressive or have antisocial tendencies, and balances out male to female ratios. And something happens where, like, the ship blows up or they lose communication with Earth and they're stranded. So they have to get along, and like it or not, this virus is now running rampant and everybody is affected, and they have to get along, and they all live happily ever after.
Very nice.
And it calls itself Epideme.
If you're going to run, it might as well be rampant.
Yes, yes.
There's no dress code for running rampant.
Because otherwise you're just jogging.
Yep.
All right, so my Deus Ex Machina, I'm going to take Mike's story, Mike's original.
Jar Jar's going to get it. Yay!
I need another drink to do this accent. Oh, no.
The Jedi and the Sith Council both agree that Jar Jar is a danger to the entire universe, and they just
He's gonna die!
Oh no! What is Yusa doing?
And they work together to build the Death Star and blow the planet up. End of story.
Oh, it's a burden! It's a burden!
It's a dark comedy.
It's a dark comedy.
Nice. So the buddy comedy went dark. I like it.
It did.
Turned out
Dark
there was
comedy.
no buddies at all.
There were no
I
buddies.
hope you all liked the
There ain't no
interpretive
buddies
dance
left
that I
either.
did.
Dark comedy.
Yes,
Luke, I am your buddy. No.
I thought he was going to say, Luke, I am your proctologist, but okay.
Oh.
No.
No.
This is terrible. Okay.
Yeah,
last
pretty
question.
much. I don't think anything that came out of this was going to be great. So.
You never know.
It's
You never know.
funny. I hope people are laughing.
Yes, well, I'm going to have
we
so
are.
much fun with your interpretations in post, Laura. You have no idea.
Yay!
The fun
All right.
part's
It's all your fault.
The
So
fun
next-
part's going to be to listen to people listening to this, to watch people listening to this, and see which jokes they laugh at.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so
How
the
long it
last
takes them to
question.
shut it off.
Yeah, that too. So it's like a regular edition of Galley Table.
Exactly.
No.
All right. Take your story, or take one of the stories, and make it into a quest story. How
I already
do you
did.
I know. That's why I said in the chat. You're stealing my next question.
Damn it.
Now you have to come up with another one.
I have to come up with another one?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so part of the quest is that there is one thimble full of rum. And they have to decide if the rum is going to go to themselves or to the other person. And if they decide on themselves, and if they choose a version of selfishness as opposed to a version of wordsmiths, help me.
Cohabitation.
Sure.
Cooperation.
Collaboration. Thank you.
Cooperation.
That works too.
Conjugation.
Stop.
Manipulation.
There are no conjugal visits. That's Starla's story.
Oh, it's all right.
That's my story.
Consternation.
Goodness.
So, if they do not choose a version of cooperation, I love you, wine.
Put the rum down and step
Damn it.
away.
I don't have rum.
She has wine. Weren't you listening? Jeez.
I have rum. I left it in the cabinet. Damn.
Doesn't listen to me. Anyway, if they do not choose a path of cooperation, then the rum machine won't work. And so they have this sort of, I don't know if I want to say like riddles in the dark or a battle of wits, but they do something where they each earn the respect of one another. And so they try to drink from the cup at the same time, but it ends up spilling on the ground, and that's what it was supposed to do to make it work.
Very good.
And terraforming runs rampant from the rum.
And we have a rum-flavored planet with rum trees and rummy taffy and rum waters, and it's wonderful. I think we found your happy place, Laura.
Name it the cirrhosis system. There we go.
Well, Mars is rum spelled backwards, right?
Sideways, right?
Well, myrrh is rum.
We shall
I'm sure
call
we
it
had
Planet
Planet
Bob. All right.
I'll call it this land.
I've completely forgot what we're even talking about.
We're taking a story and making it into a quest story.
Right, a quest story.
The quest is the quest.
The quest.
So, Starla, I'll let you go next then.
Okay. So this virus has become sentient, so they have to seek it out to keep it from unleashing itself on everybody. So the protagonist, the hero and the heroine go on this epic quest, across the deserts of Mars and up to the polar ice cap, and they find a cave, and they have many trials and tribulations, different gateways and things, ancient gateways that they have to pass through to test their love and their bravery and devotion to one another. Blah blah blah. Romance novel. And then they finally get to the virus, and it is so impressed by how far they've come in their relationship that it agrees to stay where it's at and allow everybody to continue as they were and try to work things out on their own.
Very nice. Doc.
Let's see. So I'm going to go from not just a quest, but a young adult quest. So when the ancient ones take over the colonist ship and head off into space, unbeknownst to them, one of the younger glob creatures was on the ship with a sentient attack kitten from the human colony, and the two of these pair up together to try to, and their quest is either to take over the ship and bring it back, because they know that the humans can't survive without the technology on the ship, or to find some other way to bring needed supplies back to the colony.
Excellent. Mike, I think that leaves you.
Okay, well, I'm going to go the total opposite to a YA adventure. So the virus has been selectively run, and they now have a balance of male and female. However, there's only been a single sex for so long that the denizens of that planet have no idea what to do with two genders and procreation. So the big quest becomes a search, if you will, for the ancient historical texts that have pictures and have directions on how to properly procreate. And there is a giant search over the mountains, over the oceans, under the dales, and as they travel, it turns out that, as I've heard said, nature finds a way, and by sheer accident and lots of fumbling, they managed to be successful in
The quest for Nookie.
the quest for Nookie. Yes, you got it.
Oh, the whole thing, the whole time you're going through that, Mike, I'm going, they figure it out and they go, ew, not doing that. 12-year-olds going, ew.
It's like what Demolition Man.
Yes.
Fluid exchange? Ooh. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So much of this just sounds like Jurassic Park to me, only with aliens.
It works. Whatever.
I'm rattling my cage. I have a random question.
Go
Somebody
for
go
it.
give her more wine.
I think we're at
Then she'll
random
have two
question
random
time.
questions.
The random question is, how much wine does it take for Laura to become... No, that's not it. Okay, I'll stop.
No, that's not a random.
Okay, Laura.
It takes
We already
mojitos.
know
I will let
that
you
it
out of the
only
brig
takes
long
4 mojitos for me to have to be carried out of the bar.
I missed the carrying part. Damn.
Yeah, and you missed David Subkowiak carrying me out of the bar and back to my hotel. Yeah, that was fun. Anyway,
Random
so we've
question.
been talking about
Please, random question, go.
epic quests and whatnot. So your antagonist has a companion, and that companion is an animal or creature. What would the ultimate companion be?
The doctor. I win.
Oh, nice.
Let me see.
So is this the protagonist or the antagonist?
Antagonist.
Doesn't matter.
So one of them has a companion.
One of them has some kind of companion.
And Doc,
It
you
can
are
be
still away?
animal or human.
Sentient attack kittens.
Yeah, sparkly attack kitten.
They shall disarm you with their cute and then rend you limb from limb.
Oh, so it's Puss in Boots.
Meow.
Excellent. Mike,
Like, I keep thinking the first one that popped into my head was Earthworm Jim. I have no idea why, but that's what popped into my head.
Starla,
Oh God, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't think of a dang thing.
That's why it's a random question.
I hate you, Larry.
we'll come
I
back to
love
you.
you.
Laura, you asked
Yeah,
the
me
question.
neither.
It's your turn to answer.
Actually, it's your turn to answer.
No.
No. The person who asks the question is always the last to go, so it's your turn.
Oh! I thought of it. I thought of
Okay,
what it is.
go.
Okay. All right. All of my humans have an earpiece, and they are connected to somebody back on the planet all the time, 24 hours a day.
They has internet.
Something like that, yeah. So all of my humans have this, so they would all have a constant voice in their head, listening to everything that the protagonist is doing or saying, saying, you know, all of that stuff. So they're getting all the juicy details of what go on. Say it's like they're doing it for a reality show, maybe. Yeah.
So it's not Jiminy Cricket.
No.
Oh, darn.
No. So they can talk to the person and they can listen to what's going on, but they can't actually interact with anything.
Nice.
That's my companion.
Okay, so your companion is an unseen person in an earpiece, which could very well be Jiminy Cricket, but we don't know.
Nice.
We'll call him Jimmy the Earwig.
Jimmy the Ear? No. Okay. I've got a story. I've got a story about a friend who had a beetle in her ear for like 9 months.
Oh God! Please don't
Okay,
do
let's-
that.
Well,
Somebody
Well, the
please
thing
bring
is,
that.
those little earpieces that law enforcement types use, those are really called earwigs.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, was the Beatle like Paul McCartney or?
No, it was Ringo.
It was
Bugs.
Ringo. It's always
Nice.
Ringo.
Nice.
The whole time you're talking about that story, all I'm thinking is Ender and Jane in his ear the whole time.
Jeff, it's your turn.
I know, it's my turn. And I had this wonderful idea, and it just disappeared out of my...
I'll bet it's a shark. I'll bet it's a shark with a frickin' laser beam on its head.
Well, you know. He
God,
is
those
part
are
of the
so
Mad Scientist Coalition, or whatever you call yourself.
It is what it is. Okay.
I figured out how
Arthur Dent.
the violent attack kittens talk.
Yeah?
Sentient attack kittens. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi!
I can have Jeff now.
cheeseburger.
No.
So my companion would be Arthur Dent.
Nice.
Because he is both Bilbo Baggins and that guy from
Oh, that guy
That guy, yeah, in that thing, you know,
with the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Arthur spends his entire life, or several lifetimes, wandering around his bathrobe, just looking for a good cup of tea. And so I can imagine this guy wandering around in his bathrobe behind the protagonist the whole time, going, "So when are we going to stop for tea?"
And always carrying his
Hitchhiker's
towel.
Guide to the Galaxy. Thank you.
Yes,
Very
that's
nice.
where I was going with that.
Thank you.
But he does eventually become a sandwich connoisseur,
He does. He does.
sandwich chef.
Yeah.
Mm.
Alrighty, so we have
Oh wait,
totally...
that leaves me.
Yep.
Oh, go, please. I'm sorry.
Tribbles.
Baby dragon.
So a what?
A baby dragon.
A baby fish.
Baby dragon.
I am
She was
always
gonna say
told
Tribbles.
I would say Tribbles if it was me, but we're talking about my story. And there's a baby dragon.
Talk about
With
this.
asbestos diaper.
No, it's just that he's warm and can fit right on the back of my neck and feel.
Well, if he's a baby dragon, he'll eventually get bigger. So what about a miniature dragon?
Are we talking
sure,
like
mini dragon.
we're talking like Kitty Pryde's Lockheed? He was
Yes.
a fully
There you
adult
go.
dragon. He was just a
Exactly.
shoulder-sized dragon.
Or one of Anne McCaffrey's fire lizards.
Yep. It was a
Right.
problem of scale.
There we
Okay.
go.
Anyway,
All right, so we have now completely murdered this story idea.
and now it's my turn to take over.
No.
Yay! I've broken free of the brig, and now I'm going to bring us out since I had the random question. So now we're going to give our
Yes, we
guests
let the menial. We let
time.
her have the
Shut
menial
your
jobs.
face! It's my turn now. God damn it! Oh wait, I have more wine. Anyway, it is time for us to go around the table to let everybody say what their projects are right now and awesome stuff and things, because I love everybody on this podcast. So as usual, we will throw our stowaway Doc Coleman under the bus.
All right. Well, the easiest place to look for me and find me is going to be www.doccoleman.com. And from there, you can go to the Nifty Tech blog, Swimming Cat Studios, or the Shrinking Man Project. Or if you want something just a little bit more personal, look for me at Balticon at the end of this month. That's right, Memorial Day weekend in Hunt Valley, Maryland. It's Balticon.
Fantastic. And now that I've yelled and screamed and probably blown out a bunch of your eardrums, I will let Jeff Height say what he's doing for his projects.
No, we're gonna let the guests go first, please.
Well, then that's fine. Mike Bloodshed.
Well, you can find me at, and I don't do the announcer voice as well as Doc, at www.irreverentmuse.com.
I don't know, that was pretty good.
Everything Mike Plested, including, and not limited to, Get Published the podcast. Oh, yes, the podcast for wannabe writers. Yes, some of you have even been on it as guests so far.
Some of us are still listening to it.
That's excellent. I didn't know anybody was anymore. I'm happy to hear that.
I'm catching up on the archives. It takes a while.
Yeah, there's like 100, and I think last episode was 108. Yeah.
I'm mid-Galaxy Billies, so.
Oh, yes. So I have podcast Galaxy Billies, which is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy meets Beverly Hillbillies. My first book, Mick Murdoch, Boy Superhero, was released last August. My first editorial credit, A Method to the Madness, A Guide to the Super Evil, just released. And I'll let my co-editor speak to that in a moment. Yeah. What else is going on? I also will be at Balticon Memorial Day weekend. Oh, yes, I will be spending multiple hours flying from beautiful, sunny Calgary, Alberta, Canada, to Huntsville, Maryland, where I hope to see you all.
So exotic.
Hunt Valley. If you go to Huntsville, it'll...
Oh, did I say Huntsville? Hunt Valley. Thank you. Thank you. Hunt Valley. I knew that.
And my dear Starla.
Thank you. You can find me at starlahutchton.com. I am posting, I posted 3 excerpts from my new work coming out very soonish. Don't have a release date yet. It's driving me crazy. It's sci-fi romance. Think Bones meets Sequest. It's kind of the premise. So yeah, all of that stuff is at starlahutchton.com. You can find links to my writing, all my voice work, and even my design stuff, which you can find all at designedbystarla.com. I do book covers for indie authors and also publishers, because I do Entangled Publishing now.
Very nice.
Yay.
Look down at my third.
That one is one of mine.
Lower
right there.
third is one of Starla's, and it's fantastic. I love it.
That is awesome.
I'm going to have one of Starla's, but I have to finish this, at least the next few rounds of edits first.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Jeff.
All right,
It's your turn.
It's my turn, and I'm going to also pimp the thing that Mike talked about it. Method to the Madness, A Guide to the Super Evil, which just came out. It was supposed to come out June 1st, but it is now live on Amazon, and you can go get it. It is a wonderful book. It's lots of fun. And, you can find me at Balticon, and I will be talking about it pretty much exclusively, the mad scientist that I am. You can also find everything else that I do at jeffhite.com, and a lot of things that I do at flyingislandpress.com, which is the host of this podcast, Flying Island Press, taking fiction where you want to go.
Are we all going to Balticon? All of us?
I am going
Laura.
to Balticon on Sunday only. So if you want to get to see me, you have to be there on Sunday. Sunday. And I've also got some snippets from NaNoWriMo. Let's see if I can talk. On my website, gypsylaura.com. As always, we want to give thanks to our host website, which is flyingislandpress.com, where we have monthly editions of fiction coming out. We've got our editor's edition coming out very shortly. So please be sure to keep watching the website for both EPUB and audio versions of those stories. And we are also going to a new free format, but we do very much welcome your donations so that we can continue to give the authors the compensation that they have earned for such wonderful and profound creativity that they have lent to us to share with you. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us on the Galley Table tonight. Again, I am Laura Nicole. For all of our cast and all of our guests, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next week on Tuesday, 9 Eastern Central, if you join us live. Otherwise, you will hear us on the archives on flyingislandpress.com. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that while I can't feel my lips.